There it
Trevor
is.
is live. Oh yeah, we're in the corner.
My beer is getting shorter.
What's up, guys? Welcome.
Hey.
Cool.
We are live for
Hi.
happy hour for the Head Goat 50K, day 16. What's up, guys? Welcome to all the streakers out there.
Who has their volume on?
Gotta get rid of those echoes.
I'm gonna delete that volume.
Oh,
Everybody
Gail Bazzi.
mute their computer. Say hi to people you see.
Hoodie is out there. Hi, Hoodie.
Love it.
Cool.
Purple Gray.
Mm-hmm.
16 miles in purple today. Purple plaid.
Yeah. Donna Swanson.
Swanson took a break from mushroom hunting to join us.
From Hooterville.
Dan joined. Hey. Yes. Christina Bembo.
That's Hoodie.
Hey, she's my Facebook.
Sonia.
We're all a lot cooler on Facebook than we are
Oh,
live.
there's Slug John Hebert just joined us.
We promise it'll be more exciting than this. We're just waiting.
Yeah, so
for the amount of people in here.
Delayed.
Prepare thy drinking vessel.
It's prepared.
Hi, Sean. Prepared. Oh, it's my background is distorting my drink.
My Super 5K mug.
so
I've been practicing all day for this.
we should start with some intros, I
Nice.
think. And we'll kind of go around and introduce somebody else on the crew here. So I'm Trevor, and I'm going to introduce you guys to Dan here with the glasses and the hat. Dan's been a part of the crew as mostly kind of volunteer / a runner for a long, long time, but he recently joined us as an employee and full-time. And we're super excited, although he hasn't got to work a lot this year. But Dan loves to do a lot of trail running. He's famous for marking our trails. And that's how he got the name Yellow Dog. And he
I'm
can tell the
here.
story a little better, but can of orange yellow spray paint exploded all over his arm. So Yellow Dog he is. And in the office, he does a bunch of our insurance work, and Planet helps out with a bunch of just this and that and the other, and he's a kind of go-to for anything. And so that's Dan, and he's going to introduce Carrie for you guys.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, it's all true. Covered in yellow paint in the middle of the woods on stripper pole is my claim to fame. Carrie, well, where do we picked up Carrie as a volunteer once upon a time. I remember first meeting her at Liberty with, I think you had all your kids with you.
Yeah.
She very quickly became the mom of the group, taking care of all of us in every which way. Carrie's also jack of all trades. Wow, she's our liaison, the water. She's shopping, she's picking up water. Also, a Spartan athlete, is that right? Did I get that right?
Yep.
That's what you prefer to do when you're not out running one of our events with us.
Yep.
Avid hiker, and yeah, the bubbly one. All right, I'll give it to you, Carrie.
All right. Oh, I'm in a delay. Yes, I did Spartan. Yep.
Well,
I
she's
do
in a
like
delay.
it. I'm in a delay.
You must be on the Facebook.
You can only look at
Oh.
one at a time.
All right. I think I'm in a delay, but if you get this, it'll be delayed. All right. So I'm introducing Mandy. I met Mandy when I started working with Facebook. Oh my gosh, I'm so delayed. All right. So I met Mandy when I started working at RF Events, and she got the Iron Mandy label. So I thought it was pretty amazing, all the Iron Man she did. And then I got to see her carry her beautiful baby Augie, and get to steal lovin's when I can from him. and she's pretty cool. She's a good mommy. I like her. And I can hear myself repeating. Oh.
All right. Thanks, Carrie. Been around here quite some time. It was fun meeting Carrie as a volunteer and tricking her into the dark side. I'm going to introduce, formerly known as Anna Stepp. I call her Anna Sass, and only because I can't spell her new last name, Anna Przybylski. Anna's been around probably since she's been born, and she's talking about, I love her stories about filling up the gallon buckets and stuff when they were young, and they were, you know, working aid stations, handing out bibs as long as they can remember. One of my favorite stories about running and Anna is that when she was, I don't know the age of the story, whether you were 10 or something, when you realized that not everybody's parents don't run. She went over to her friend's house and thought it was crazy that their parents didn't run. Just, she's been around running forever. Anna does all of our graphics and spices up all of our races, and it's really fun to watch her creativeness. And so Anna Sass.
Hi. I can introduce my dad, and I think I was in second grade when I realized that people's parents didn't run and that other people's parents watched TV. But I thought TV was only kids' thing. I can introduce the man who needs no introduction, the head goat. He has been around for 60 some years. He started running fit in 84, I want to say 84 or 85, right around the time Trevor was born. And he was not a runner his whole life. That came later, which is pretty crazy. And at some point he started putting on events, and it really took off from there. You'll hear a lot more about him, so I'll let him introduce Trevor.
All right. Yeah, I didn't start running till I was 19, which in our family would be obscenely late. But it is like 45 years ago. So Trevor, he is in charge of, he worked on this tonight to put this meeting together, but Trevor times all of our 27 races, and we'll be timing them again soon. And he times probably another 50 races. So he's kind of so he's timing the head goat 50K. And it was like, he's coming from that race timing background. He's like, how are you going to time a race that goes on for 31 days? And he told me he's using like the Tour de France's system, something like that, taking it day after day. But Trevor's I always think of him as kind of a big hitter employee for RF events. He went to school in Florida, and good business school, ran all 4 years in college, went to the NCAA finals. Hard to believe my kids both ran in college, but he's in that generation that's getting kicked constantly, and it's happening again. Went through the big recession, had a job in Atlanta, had a house in Atlanta, and then thought, I really like that running world a little better than this world that I'm at, the corporate world. And we got him back. And so Trevor, we're thrilled to have you, and it's a big plus for us. All right, you're next, Trev.
Yeah, I'll just mention that Anna was a Aquinas College track superstar, and I ran at Florida Southern College.
Seems like a stretch.
So we're going to ask, each of us are going to ask a question to the head goat here. And then we also like to say, if anyone wants to ask questions on Facebook, we'll check out those questions and we'll ask them here, or to any of the participants as well, the other panelists. So Dad, what was the first event that you were the race director for?
It would have happened last month, trail weekend. We used to call it the Michigan Trail Marathon, even though it was on the Potawatomi Trail, but it would have been you guys correct me, would this be the 33rd or 34th year? 33rd?
4.
34th running.
30. Oh
34th.
God, I don't. 30.
It
34th.
will
something.
be the 34th running in October.
For those of you out there that run Potawatomi, back in the day before there was mountain bikes, and Jeff Gaft is working with me. He's the manager of Traverse City Running Fit, if you know Jeff. But he got lost out there running Potto one day, and he cut through this campground, and he got back to Silver Lake Beach and found it was he said, I think it's about 13 miles. We ran that twice. It'd be a marathon. Let's put on a marathon. And you don't know that anybody that runs the cutoff or the shortcut at Potto, that used to be a campground that you came through. The campground closed the year that we started the race. But we had, I think, 75 finishers, and we just had a marathon. and it's quite a history. It's still going on, and I love the event. It's coming up. We had to move it, and it's going to be, what's the date, Anna?
October 24th.
October 24th.
Anniversary.
So
Whoop, whoop.
everybody should come out there because we do have a 5-mile race, and you can hike it. So, all right. Any other questions?
Yeah, Randy, as a runner, you said you started running late at the age of 19. What was your first marathon that you ran, and how did it go?
You know, I always thought that the marathon seemed like a very scary distance when I started running. And even though I was running maybe 60, 70 miles a week, because I got into it right away, and I was at Michigan State and kind of lived on the floor with the cross country team, and I got heavily into running very quickly in my college years. But I kind of, I thought I put off the marathon. You hear people like, so I waited, I think it was in 78. Anyways, I ran, so I was going to run the Detroit Marathon, but I had a little hip pain just before then. So I decided I had 2 weeks off, and it was kind of early to taper. So all of a sudden I looked up that there was a marathon in Port Clinton, Ohio. And as it ended up, there was only about 130 people in this marathon in Port Clinton. We went down there, and I was so afraid of the distance that I ran really easy the whole time, just, waiting for this thing to hit me, like this marathon. But like I got to about 20 miles and I realized I feel like $1 million. I should have ran a lot faster. I almost ran PR 10K pace over the last 6 miles. I think I ran 3:04 or something.
Wow.
Like that. Wow. And that was the last time I ran over 3 hours, just for many years anyway.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay.
Who's next? I'll go. Let's go. What, Randy, was your favorite race to put on? Or what is your favorite race to put on? Could be an old one or a new one.
Kind of splits. There's so much great stuff you guys got, but I love the start of Dances with Dirt. I can't believe what the teams do and what they bring to it. If anybody ever has never ran on that, this is a perfect time. You got time at home to call 4 friends, get a team. Don't be afraid. Look at Dance with Dirt. It's just amazing. But of course, Run Woodstock is become. I like the whole thing, and I like that it's like nothing else that there is.
All right. So I heard some news the other day that made me think of something of you, Randy. If anyone's familiar with the triathlon world, Ironman World Championships are held in Kona every year. Kona is in early October, and it has been postponed until 2021, and they are going to be hosting 2 races in 2021 in February and then again in October. This has only happened one other year, 1982 or something, I believe, and Randy Stepp was there at both of them, right?
Yes, I competed in Kona 2 years with my bride, who was like a favorite at the time, Kathy. She's sitting across from me looking at Facebook here, but yeah, so it's interesting. So that really changed our lives dramatically. I was a funeral director going into that race in '82, and I came out of that and made great changes in life. Opened a running shop in Ann Arbor and went all in. I mean, running was it was hard to go back to what I was doing. So this year, it looks like it could happen again. You know, they postponed Ironman is October. It looks like it might move to February, and next year again, like 45 years later, it could happen again. Yes, I'm a closet triathlete, obviously.
So I'd like to ask you because I actually don't know what's your favorite non-running activity. I know you have lots of other activities, but the number one.
You know, I like to hang out in my boat, even for happy hour. You know, we could be out on the. I should have taken the laptop out there if I had a connection. We'd be out there. I've always lived on the water. Like I don't have a house without a dock in front of it. So there's something about that. That's pretty special to me to be on the water, even though I hate swimming. How's that?
That's pretty good. I saw a question on the Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Trevor's turn.
Yeah. The question on Facebook is from Ivan. He asked what prompted you to start or to come up with Run Woodstock?
You know, it's kind of an event that I thought about for, it's like in my mind, I had this idea of this long running festival weekend. You know, we only spend, like we go to a race, we just kind of like sneak off for the morning, go to our race, you know, go to the post race, maybe have a beer, whatever it is. And I thought, it's just not enough. It's got to go on for a couple of days, like a festival. And I, as an old hippie and classic rock guy, what happened was we talked about putting on a 100-mile race. And I thought, we're going to put on a 100-mile race. We might as well, now I can finally do this Run Woodstock because we're going to be there for more than a couple of days. And it was something I've wanted to do far before we started it, which is now is about 12 years. Is that enough of an explanation?
Yeah, that's good.
I saw a comment that maybe you can elaborate on more. Sheila, Trail Dogs, Finer Other Half, said DWD is ahead of its time being the ultimate mud run. So two-part question. I know you take pride in us never chasing the fad of the mud runs, but obstacles and all that stuff, which I believe we are all quite proud of. So talk about why not chasing the fads and sticking to the true dirt and grit of good old Dances with Dirt.
Yeah, no man-made obstacles out in the woods, for God's sakes. You know, Mother Nature has the toughest stuff out there that there is. You don't have to drag your gym equipment out into a woods to do a workout. To me, from the day that started, I didn't get it. When the color runs, when they're going to paint people out on a course or not time them. So, I mean, I'm a runner, and our company, we're true to the culture. And a lot of great people all the way along, like Ken, Trail Dog Ken, and Sheila. Like the idea is a lot of this stuff comes along from our great volunteers and kind of like shapes the events the way they are, the people that work for the company. We're still doing that kind of.
So before we went live, we were all chatting about what we were drinking, and I think we should let everyone know what we have at our happy hour, since it is happy hour.
Having too.
What are we serving?
Yeah.
What's served at the Przybylski residence?
I am having a lovely $4 Pinot Grigio
All right.
from the exotic store Kroger in a running between the vines glass. The only one I have, actually. So we got that going for us. Mandy, what are you drinking down there?
I am finishing our last Oberon. We practiced earlier today with them just to make sure I was ready for this. And I have the Bell's Oberon. We love Bell's. Brewery, and I have a Atwater Wango on deck.
On deck.
Mango
backup.
wheat. What's one
I had
of
a
my
Wango
favorites?
yesterday. It was
Oh,
delicious.
Delicious.
Like it. I guess I'll go. I am having it's a very light, sweet red wine. And I think it's the same as Anna. I think it's $7 or $8 at your local Kroger.
Oh, high spender.
Yeah, that's a lot. Jeez.
I stepped it up, okay?
Soupy on it.
Happy hour. I was thinking of 19 Crimes and thinking of Mandy, though. That is a good wine.
Drink all 19 of them. What are people out there drinking? That's what we're.
I saw
Oh.
cranberry and
I don't
vodka.
have Facebook. You're in
Oberon.
Facebook.
I saw
Chardonnay.
Ace Hard
Oh.
Cider.
Overrun and my Overrun pint. Yes.
Vodka and
Overrun.
LaCroix. That sounds good.
Peanut butter
Nice.
stout.
I
Nice.
didn't.
That's why I said to get your. I don't want
Very
to-
well.
Mm.
I asked
never
the
had-
question and then I
Oh.
didn't introduce what I had. I tried to
yeah.
find something with a goat, but it was close. It's a gargoyle from Stone, and it's pretty good.
I see Donna's drinking Columbia Crest.
Kirk,
I made a switch.
Oh, David Ely is onto the scotch already. Way to go,
Whoa.
buddy.
Karen is having
Oh,
Oh
fun.
no!
Come on.
We wish we
Bye,
were there.
Lucky from Indiana.
Blake's Hard Ciders. Griffin Claw, Sean.
Trip to
All right.
Mhm.
Ciders. I see a good amount of ciders.
A lot of Oberon in their Oberon in their Oberon
Glittering.
glasses.
Oh my goodness, Jen is
Oh.
she's getting her miles in and she's watching us. Good job, Jen Mason.
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Go, Jen, go. Well, I've got another cough on. I think we have some Indiana. Oh, we're going to miss
Yes.
you. Oh, we are going to miss Snowbone this
You're
year.
good.
yeah.
It was
This
today.
by drinking Indiana wine in her
Or
in her hightail glass.
I saw, Randy, I saw a bunch of comments. Thanks for the motivation for May and the Head Goat Challenge. And that also makes me think of something, follow up from the Not Chasing the Fads is we've tried really hard to stay away from virtual runs where we just sell everybody a t-shirt and a medal and say, good job, go run your race. And congrats, we'll ship you your swag. And so it was really, really hard for us, everyone on the team, to jump into the virtual online stuff. But I think that we made everybody proud and everyone seems grateful and they're doing such a good job on their streak. And so if anyone else wants to touch on that, I mean, we're just gleaming with
Our
enthusiasm.
crew, you guys, Mandy and Anna, you guys are everybody is so creative and talented that we didn't just throw the Head Goats know 5K with a medal and a t-shirt mailed to you. I mean, this is going on and it's wonderful. And I know that the next challenges coming up are going to be that way. And I couldn't be more proud of our staff. We, yes, we're going to have some virtual events that we had to cancel that will be closer in that, but I'm sure you guys will think of things to make them far over the top from what you see out there.
I like was it Candy says this is better than a shrink.
Yeah, it's way better.
I know. Like I literally I'm telling you, like some of your guys' posts about I didn't want to get up. I was dragging. The kid post because I'm a mom, totally understand it. I'm actually outside. You might hear lawnmower because there's kids inside. But it's just real and it's raw and it's honest and it's happy, sad, funny. It's been my therapy. I've cried at posts. I've laughed and almost peed my pants at posts, which is easy to happen as a mom. Too much info. But it's been great. I definitely have to give it up to the creative team. Like I've loved it. And one of the many more reasons I love you guys.
It's had a really different feel, even than an in-person event. I feel, of course, I can't wait to get back to in-person events, but where you really get to know people that you see constantly at events. You see them as they go by, but you've never like heard their story or seen, you know, how their running's going. Or so I think it's like it's been so cool to see all the names that we see, or new names, but just and actually get to see what you're doing and how you're feeling.
Kind of like Adriana writes a sign, holds a sign up every day. You know? So
Yeah,
cool.
that sign is awesome. And there's so many cool things. And there's John Sells, who does the treasure hunting every day. It's so fun following along with everybody.
I loved the RF events swag day, and I saw Pam Conklin just post, and it reminded me of her picture. Wow, amazing! Like from years and years, and she goes, and that's not even all of it. And
Oh my
Jonathan
God.
Gardner on his treadmill.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Wow. And I saw a bunch of old Tony medals. I think Jane Sanders posted some Tony
I
medals.
saw a bunch of Tony medals. I saw the triangle. I can't remember who posted it, but yeah, so fun, like all day and all night seeing
That was
posts and posts and
fun.
posts.
Those medals would get laughed at today, coming from a foundry in New Jersey. It's just like this stamped piece of metal.
I'm laughing. You guys made me laugh till I cried just here.
What was your favorite theme so far, Head Goat?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's run is going to be the most fun.
Did you have a secret plan?
No, isn't tomorrow the climb in the mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vertical.
Did you have
Vertical.
Ted map out a 1 mile route for you?
I've got a spot that's so freaking steep. I just wish it was longer, you know. There's some people here that are probably on this that are from out west or somewhere
Yeah.
where they've got a mile uphill.
Yeah.
You gotta run back
Michigan
down and run up.
handicap.
They're gonna laugh at us, but
We're gonna do our best.
Hoodie wants us to do a cheers, and I think that we should have done it at the beginning, but we can do it now. So
Oh yeah.
everybody in the group, raise your glass to the Head Goat 50K May.
Yay.
Cheers!
Cheers.
We love you all.
Oh my gosh,
You.
it's
Oh
been
my
so
gosh.
fun.
I'll drink to
Everyone's
that.
saying hi.
Speaking, one thing that I think we might have missed mentioning is this isn't the whole crew. There's a bunch of other people that are really, really important to making all of the events happen. And, unfortunately, Zoom gets crazy once, with a bunch of people, you can't see anyone. It gets so small. So we picked 6, but there's a bunch of other people that are really great. And everyone should, we can try to name them all, but there's so many volunteers and so many people. But like staff, there's like Jody and Gary and Amy and
Yes.
Kim,
Everybody.
Yeah.
Ted.
it's Kim's
Yeah.
birthday.
And
Yeah.
it's Kim's
Yeah.
birthday.
Yes. I don't know if she's
Happy
watching.
birthday, Kim.
Kim,
Happy
for
birthday,
keeping
Kim.
us organized.
That's it.
Kim
Office
keeps us very
management.
organized. She bugs me constantly because I'm a little bit creative, not so good at keeping track.
Jody is my sunshine every day.
Yes.
Every day.
Everybody come up one quick Jody line, right?
Do your partner.
Go
team.
Team. Sis, it's a jungle out there.
There's no I in team.
Oh,
Also,
I love
Oh,
Jody.
I'm
Hoodie
sure
just
everybody knows
mentioned
Jody.
Sam.
Canada Sam. We have
Sam.
unpaid workers too. Wild
lot.
Bill, John Hurley,
Ant.
Ant.
Trail Dog,
Uh-huh.
Ants, yes.
John Hebert. Him and I are having a
the slug,
him
John
and I are having
Hebert.
a ponytail contest. John, what do you
I
think?
saw that.
There's a
Bill
Timing
Moyer, I think, is
crew.
it Bill Moyer's birthday today too? Did I see
Oh, it
that?
is. Yes.
Oh,
Happy
it
birthday,
is.
Bill.
Wild
Happy
Bill's
birthday,
Bill.
Bill.
He went and ran
Happy birthday.
He
what
was
is
running
he like
Hot
was running-
dog today?
Pato with
77.
Lady today.
1,000 now? Bill went and ran Pato for his
71?
birthday.
No.
71, I think.
71. Because last year he did 70. Yes, miles.
70 miles on his birthday, right?
Yeah, in a 1 mile area, wasn't it?
Yeah, from his house, he said.
Yeah. Good
Laura
job.
wants to know how you got your title, Mr. Head Goat.
Really? Didn't I post that once?
I
I
don't
think
know.
it got buried
Post it
because we
again.
only had like 50
Uh,
members, and then all of a sudden there were 3,500.
So like 100 years ago, we had a trail running club called the Goat Runners out of the Northville Running Fit. We ran trails, and we had this. We should have that goat logo right here. There's on a hat or two. But anyways, you know, getting the club going and everything, they kept calling me the head goat. So it has nothing to do with like greatest of all time goat stuff. But and Sean would point that out. He made a great poster one time at the Super
I
Bowl.
love Sean's posters.
So freaking funny. But anyways, yeah, that's where that came about. And then we all danced through the woods. I don't run on pavement very often unless I'm forced to or have to run a marathon once a year. So. Are you? I see Anna. I see. Is there some head goat swag coming out?
So there is the original swag that was posted, but what everybody might not know is there's a second round coming.
I mean, I see them
Which-
asking for masks.
Yes. Oh, and there is a mask in this round. It is lovely. It's got the goat, the kind of the same logo as the hat. I'm just waiting. Everything goes a little slower in quarantines.
Is there a limit on those masks, Anna?
There
So you should
is
warn
a
our
limit on the
Facebook
masks.
followers today to
Yes,
jump
so
on
when-
that link.
Yeah, so when that link comes out, all of the items in the second order are limited. It's just the new weird normal. Apparel, they could do no minimums, but everything else that's coming out, I don't want to say that it's finishers things, no medals, because there's a contest for that. So if you haven't started working on your medal yet, now's the time.
It
But
doesn't have to be made out of metal.
no, it can be made out of anything. Mine's about this tall. It's made of wood.
I'd rather have a cookie that said head goat finisher, and then I'll finish it.
Yes, keep your eyes
Oh,
peeled
that's
because
cute.
we're working on the second order. It should be coming early this week.
What day are we looking at everybody's medals?
We are looking at your medals on the 31st.
And the hoodies.
And the first order hoodies, Nancy Kessler, are
Nancy.
getting shipped on the 25th.
All right. Mad Dog wants us to dance.
Mad Dog.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
baby.
We should have had Styro on here, man.
I'm missing my hippie.
Our guest panelist tonight, Styro.
Gosh.
I miss you, Mad Dog.
Hoodie, I love that idea. You might just win because I'm an office lady.
Oh, I'll have to ask Owen for that reference.
That's his answer to Wilson during quarantine.
Yes. Yes.
Styro.
Styro.
Anybody must have seen his styrofoam head with sunglasses on him as he's sitting on the trail.
Yep.
You may recognize Mad Dog from Prime Camping Spot at Woodstock,
He's the
PB&J
poster child.
maker,
Yes.
announcer at the finish line,
Martian.
Bigfoot snowshoe race, and Martian invasion of races.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see
Fellow
that.
A
hippie.
hoot.
Kim just joined the group and we
Yeah,
said happy
dogs love
birthday,
you.
but we'll say it again now that she's here.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Kim!
Happy birthday, Kim!
Yeah.
Cheers to Kim.
What do we do?
Love you, Kim.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see Wild Bill checked in case you missed it, Wild
Yes.
Bill. We also wished you happy birthday.
birthday.
Oh, he confirmed 71.
Yes.
And we want to hear all about your run on Pato this morning.
Yep.
If you guys have questions, you should start typing them in.
Yeah.
Anybody can answer all your
Because
questions.
we're going to be extremely intoxicated.
Yeah,
real
because I
soon.
just keep taking a sip. Nervous sipping.
my husband's not going to have me for later for our movie hour. It's going to
We
be
got
like,
an awkward blind date, Anna.
I wish my
Another
dogs would.
Yeah.
$4 bottle of wine.
oh, there's my oldest in the background. Yeah, she's
In
going to
plaid.
hang.
It
And
counts.
oh my gosh, Grace, you were in
Looking rad.
today.
Is
Anna?
anyone convinced their
Yeah.
kids to streak with them?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Let me tell you.
All three of mine.
Nice job, Dan.
And Dan too. My wife too.
Oh,
Yes.
family of 5.
Yep.
Carrie,
Who writes the course descriptions for the DWD series?
oh,
Ooh. Yes, this one is streaking. Real quick, I'll let you go announce.
It is Ken,
All
right?
Ken Jeffries and Ted are the
Yeah.
masterminds that have tweaked it over the years.
The dogs,
The
the
dogs.
trail dog, swamp dog,
Mm.
yellow dog.
And they usually all happen named after a story, for like the example, the Naked Woodchopper and stuff like that. So all
Stripper
that,
pole.
I mean,
Dan
anything you
mentioned
read
stripper
is
pole.
real. There is nothing
Yeah.
made up.
Dan
What
mentioned
is
stripper
happening
pole.
for June?
What is happening for June? Oh, just you wait.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a tease, Mandy?
A tease?
I don't know how to give a tease without giving it away.
Better be a happy hour.
It'll get teased in the groups
Eh.
soon enough.
Okay.
Dan and I were teasing about it in the comments of someone's post at like 12:15 a.m. one day, so you should look for that.
My
Good luck
tease would
finding
be
it.
rhymes with yay yay.
I don't know what that.
That's the worst tease
yeah,
ever,
yeah.
Mandy.
What's the next in-person race we think we'll
Yeah.
run? That's a good, terrible question.
Wisconsin's
Yeah.
wide open. We could put
Yeah,
on-
Wisconsin. I feel pretty confident.
Everybody sign up for
Yeah.
Devil's Lake and join us in the
Yeah.
bluffs.
Ivan's asked twice how it's looking for Run Woodstock. Ivan, that is up to the state of Michigan.
We are
We are
eyes on
ready,
the
Ivan.
prize, phase 6.
We are at
Everybody
the
do a good
mercy-
job.
Wait, I want to ask everybody to write to their state representatives, to the governor, and say, there's a number of people that they're going to allow as these stages open. There is a huge difference between outside and inside. And if they don't make that, like, if it's 10 persons outside, is it inside? Is it 50 people outside? Please let them know there's huge difference, like 1,200% difference in the idea that you could have a problem outside. Just saying.
Okay. Nancy wants to know, are we training for anything despite the COVID? So if you have a race on your calendar, Trevor, do you?
Nope. I am training for being a dad. My daughter's due in July.
Yay!
And so that's the only thing on the calendar.
July.
Dan?
That's a lot of pressure, Trevor.
Why didn't you tell me this, Trevor?
I have the Free Press Marathon on the schedule for October, and I'm scheduled to go to run the Hennepin 100 in Illinois the first weekend of October. So my stuff is hopefully far enough out that I can still go and run it.
Carrie?
Wait, Carrie, why don't you tell us the race that you almost ran, right? Your last marathon. A silly story. Just quick.
So a good friend of mine for her 40th decided to register us for marathon. It ended up being the Scottsdale Half Marathon, which was beautiful. It was my first time in Arizona, but I got it in. I just wasn't. It wasn't a full.
She
So
thought she goes to this race and it's going to be a full marathon, and she gets there and there isn't a full
And
marathon.
she trained for it.
Trained.
I was doing good. I was gonna sweep at Bonfire, and then I was at finish line. I was like on it. I was nervous. I got nauseous, but I was gonna do the Bonfire longest leg pacing. But my next one, if it stays, we did schedule for the marathon for the rock and roll in Vegas in November, and then the trail half in July. So that's kind of what's on the books, but I don't know how things are looking, of course. But November hopefully will be good, and we can do that one in Vegas.
Mandy?
So
Well, I'm a year ahead of Trevor, and I'm in my 1-year taper phase of having a newborn. And wow, holy crap, he does not sleep. So it makes early morning workouts rough. I had Ironman Steelhead on the calendar, and has the axe. I think I actually called it before they did. So I am enjoying my Head Goat 50K streak right now, and Christy and I, August is streaking as well. So I enjoy getting out. We run and walk every single day, multiple times a day. We don't even log all our miles. There's so many miles. But hopefully, I think I would really like to do Bonfire again. I really loved Bonfire. Was our first race after I had August, and I'm looking forward to Bonfire again.
A bonfire.
Bonfire.
Mr. Step, are you training for anything?
You know, I was going to run 50K at Trail Weekend, and I am hoping to do that again in September. So,
October.
October. So that really threw me. That was like, you guys were going to let me run one of our races, which was pretty cool. But so October, 50K trail.
So Rachel asked, what's everyone's like dream race to do?
Run Woodstock 100.
I would actually really love that. Would be awesome. It's not possible because that weekend's a little bit busy, but
Yeah. I've been asked
it's
about
possible.
But everybody else can.
Outside of all streaking all the running fit events. Well, I would repeat a race. Ironman Mount Tremblant was amazing. I don't know if I'd go back for the full necessarily at this point in my life, but the half would be cool. So Mount Tremblant, Quebec, loved it. I would go do that again in a heartbeat.
Everybody should just put one of those Woodstock races on their calendar.
I was asked on one of the streaks, somebody made something about streaking, and I don't think I can do the natural run. Brandy wants to elaborate on the Woodstock natural run.
No elaboration.
But yeah, that's not on my agenda. But Dan has ran the Grand Canyon. I don't know what that race is, but that would be a beautiful race.
Yeah, Selena asked, what's our proudest running achievement? Either time, distance, streak, or number of races. She said she's run at least one 5K a month for the last year and felt amazing. For me, finishing the Woodstock 100 in 2011 in the epic rain was quite an achievement. But like Carrie said, anyone that can do it. I was able to run rim to rim to rim of the Grand Canyon a year ago in the fall, and it absolutely amazing. Absolutely breathtaking scenery and hard, so hard. So if you can go, I'd go again. That's one one run I would go do again. It wasn't a race; it was just me and a buddy. But I'd do that again if I could.
Yeah, Dan's a obsessed long guy.
awesome.
I'm impressed with what Dan does.
It's all your fault, Randy.
Trevor, what's your what is it?
Dream race.
A dream race.
Or achievement.
Or proudest running achievement.
Oh, well, proudest running. I'll say both because they're completely different. But proudest running achievement, I was making it to the NCAA cross country national championships. Our team made it, and it was like a big deal. And getting to run there was really cool. And I only ran there at the national championships 1 year, but it was my senior year in college, and it was just like a really cool thing to finally be on the team. I wasn't like the number one man or anything, but it was cool to make it there. And then like one of the races that's like on my, like, it'd be really amazing to be able to do is Comrades. I've never been to Africa. It's like a good excuse to go on a big trip and check out a really cool international race. So that's mine. There's a bunch of people asking about the head goat, or at least one or two asked recommendations for like switching from like being a road runner to trail runner for the goat.
Well, for sure, everybody should do that if you haven't already. You get, so on the road, your foot strike is exactly the same over and over and over. People have all kinds of injury problems and stuff. When you run off road, use all those ancillary muscles. I talk about it all the time. You get to be a stronger, better runner. You don't go insane. You'll never get hit by a car. It's like, there's so much positive to go out in the woods and clear your head. And Everybody could, yeah, you know, it feels fast when you're going slow in the woods. That's kind of nice. As the age room runner, it's a great thing. As my wife would say, your proprioception is very good. You know, you get that foot head coordination. It's very good as you go through life to have those skills. So anyway, we have a lot of trail races, obviously.
Somebody else asked about easy trails for bad knees, which I think kind of goes along with that it's better to get off the road and onto the trails for bad knees.
Yeah, rolling dirt roads at least, you know, just like I say, the knee problems usually are from that joint going through the same motion over and over and over. Even a treadmill is horrible for that. You know, you can have these problems. So every foot strike is different on the trail. So
I think for anyone on the fence, I think if you think trail running is, you know, a lot harder, you're definitely going to slow down. You can't judge it by your pace. You can't have like a 10, 11 minute road mile and then jump onto the trail and be frustrated if you're 2 minutes a mile slower. Just know that it's going to happen. You just are naturally going to slow down. But I think you just have to go for it and you will hopefully quickly fall in love with it. I mean, it's so much fun, whether you sign up for a race or find a friend to take you around a park or somewhere. But, you know, I think you just have to go for it. Don't keep thinking about it. Oh, don't overthink it. Just do it.
you get to walk the uphills.
Sarah asked where everyone's favorite place to run is. And I think maybe it shouldn't be limited to like near your house, but like favorite place you've run outside of a race, I think is what she's meaning.
I still like Pato the best.
I love a good loop. I do love a loop around Pato, and as many times as I've looped it, I still love a loop around Kensington. I love knowing that once I get going and it's 8 point some miles to the return, a loop around Island Lake.
My kids don't like Kensington. Well, Josh doesn't like Kensington anymore because we decided to go there for Anna's 30th and we got lost a few miles. So I love Kensington also, except when we were doing the Anna turns 30, let's go to Kensington. It was the husband and the son was not so impressed with it. So
Is that
yeah,
behind you?
that's my old man. That is my old man, and he's actually everybody's probably seen. This is my Santa company.
Thanks, Sonia.
Yes.
My sound was off because I have 2 dogs. They're around and one keeps throwing up. So
Nice.
I guess
Randy,
I
what's
should
your
say.
favorite
Oh yeah. You
favorite place to run, Randy?
Well, you know, during this lockdown, Kathy and I have been running at Huron Meadows Metro Park, US 23 in Silver Lake Road. And what's really nice is the trail is more like a 2-track wide instead of single-track trail, which we usually run out our back door in Island Lake. So it's really nice because, you know, when you're trying to social distance and run, there's lots of room. And it's not crowded at all. I don't know. It's like for some reason, they haven't found it. And the hills are great. And the trails are great.
It's going to be busy tomorrow.
We seem to run a half marathon there every week. Oh, you're going to be busy tomorrow?
Yeah,
Because
you just told everybody your secret.
You know what? I've been saying that all along, and it doesn't seem to.
No, there's not enough elevation. They're going to be
No,
running.
I won't be there tomorrow.
Right.
I could tell people where I was going tomorrow. I have this idea at Stinchfield Woods. There's a gravel pit. And if you crawl out of that to the top, it's like 200 feet of pure misery. So if you just keep going up and down that thing.
that's a relevant question about.
There's a really good spot at Huron Meadows that you can get a lot of vert. I'm not going to say to anyone where it is, but I'm going to be there.
So
Someone asked
Bert-
how our events are going to look different going forward, and I thought that would be
Yeah.
a good time to announce our cool new clean team.
oh, yeah.
Oh, Carrie, that's you.
Gary, you can represent us and just say a little bit.
So let's put a little shout out here to the other people that are also working with me. We've also mentioned Amy, Kim, and our Jodykins. We've been compiling lots of information from multiple sources that CDC. I don't even have my notes in front of me. I could look through it. But we've been basically comparing different Runners World notes, all these other different companies to see what the best protocol is moving forward for races, the steps to put in place, adding, we're looking more signage, more distancing protocols as much as possible, more hand sanitizing stations available for you. There's lots of things we're looking into, lots of research, but we are on it. So we're looking for safety ways to make races fun and enjoyable, yet still being as safe as possible, per, of course, federal guidelines and CDC guidelines. So we are taking all the precautions to make sure we do the best we can preparing future races.
So Carrie and Jody and Amy and Kim, I'm very impressed with the information and how much work you guys have been doing it. They're on Zoom meetings every single day. The idea of very small starts, parking areas that are separated, people that come in at a slow pace. So there's never crowding anywhere. And I'm impressed with what you guys have come up with and how it is, even though, there's so much good information out there that actually running with people and spreading COVID is very, very, very non-risky, even though, you get freaked out about a lot of things, but you'll see it. We'll have it out there and published very soon.
Yeah. Someone, since we're answering some questions here, someone asked what's a running book recommendation, and I thought it was interesting that one of the quick replies was one of the head goat's favorite authors, George Sheehan, and but I was gonna go, since I'm sitting at my office and I saw my book here. I always like to tell people about this one. I love Running with the Buffaloes, and it's a really cool story about Adam Goucher and the Colorado University cross country team, and just following a team through the ups and downs of a cross country season. And anyone who's been on a team knows it's not just, there's so many highs and so many lows, and it's a really cool way that the author follows the team. And now we know that he won nationals, but throughout the book, he didn't know while he was writing the book. So it's pretty cool the way that
everybody knows that Once a Runner is the best running book ever written. And everybody's probably already read that so many times, it's probably worn the cover off. So I don't need to bring that one up. And Return to Carthage must be number 2. But
I really enjoyed Catherine Switzer's autobiography, Marathon Woman, and about the history. She was the bandit in the Boston Marathon who registered when they didn't allow women to run. She registered under K. Switzer, and everyone just assumed it was a male. And so she ran the race, and you'll see famous pictures of the race director literally trying to pull her off the course. I just thought it was really great. One of my favorite memories from the book is not about running. It's about when they were young and the women only got to play half court basketball because they were afraid their uteruses were going to fall out. So they weren't.
I hate when that happens.
They weren't able to play full court basketball. I mean, my God.
Yes, and now we know that women win longer distance races.
Yes, the women are winning endurance races, and participation-wise, most of our races, the women tip the scales.
60-40, baby.
So that is really cool.
I'm not a wife beater. My wife.
And I think it would be really fun if everybody said one quick thing. They asked, what's the most challenging part of putting on Woodstock? And because you might not know, because there's a lot going on, but every little piece is kind of put on by a different person. Like Dan does the shorter distance aid stations. Trevor does timing for 3 straight days. Mr. Step is just purveyor of all things. And Mandy is literally the question answerer for the whole freaking time. So Trevor, what's your hardest, most challenging part of Woodstock weekend?
Well, I mean, this isn't specific. I mean, the main challenge is that you start working on it on Wednesday and you leave on Sunday, and you just work anytime you're awake and you don't sleep on Friday night. So it's like a challenge just being really tired. The main challenge is being really tired.
Mandy?
The main challenge, I just think we try so hard to make everybody happy, and like when someone's not happy, you just get so sad because you've tried, like you've done all this stuff and you've planned all this stuff, and then then we make all these notes after the event and try harder the next year.
Yeah. That's Mr. Step. Yours is probably just you don't get to sleep.
Well, besides, it just goes around the clock wired, and I'm just so into it. And on top of it, I have to deal with the Forbidden Wheels motorcycle gang who owns the property we produced the event on, where these are not, it's not like I don't know if any of them are out there. Oh my gosh.
Dan?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to run the 50-mile, the marathon, and the 100-mile twice. So in all these years, I've actually gotten to participate in Woodstock. But for me, running my part is leaving camp at 7 a.m. and seeing everything and nothing because I'm out manning the aid stations up to the north of camp. So I get to see all the runners, but I don't get to see anybody finish. I'm out there with them. And I don't get to see you guys all day until I roll back into camp around 4 or 5 in the afternoon with a truck full of recycling and garbage.
So it's like the blind man and the elephant. So somebody wrote me about the events that we put on, and it's like, we're out here doing this. And it's like, is the elephant long and skinny? Is the elephant, like one person's, the blind man's touching the tail, and that's like all these pieces all over, and people don't know what the whole thing. I thought it was a great explanation. Like, can you tell us what's happening with the rest of the elephant?
Carrie?
Yeah.
What's I'm trying to think of, I'm so far away from it. It's like I literally can't even think of what you do because I'm like, Carrie.
I at finish line.
Oh my God, duh. Yes.
The hardest part is what Trevor said. Just like sleep, and how you don't, like, sometimes, I'm already that mom ADD brain, but you get tired. But at the same time, and Dan, I miss Dan because on Saturday when he comes back, like I tried, like he's awesome and he comes and he helps, and at finish line if I need help, and we get to usually get a beer, but so finish half a beer.
Half a beer.
Or
and a cold sandwich.
Yeah. I have to stay on. Mandy and her wife Christy last year came up with some food to me. They're like, "Do you want some food?" So let me tell you real quick. Finish line. Thank you for volunteers because they help separate all the distances. They help with medals. I have one that stays on Friday night so I can sleep a couple hours. I get there between 4 and 5 and relieve them because there's some, people coming to one of the aid stations during the night on the loop. So it could be an 18-hour day at finish line. And surprisingly, with the craziness, it is my favorite thing to do. So I know you said challenging, one of the challenges, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change the lack of sleep. I wouldn't change the craziness of, like, you might not know what one person's doing or the other person's doing, but somehow it all comes together. I love seeing the 100-milers come in. It's pretty cool. So sleep is the biggest challenge. And then on Sunday, when I get home, there's nothing. My husband knows. He just 10, 12 hours of sleep. Don't talk to me.
I want to thank the 1,000 volunteers that work our events, but anybody out there that has are thinking about any of these events, you go to, you know,
miss you.
rfevents.com and look at our calendar. To volunteer at one of our races is a great way to see what's happening there and think if you want to be more of a part of it. Well, once you're a volunteer, you're way more than a part of it. But
Your
to
family.
run an event. I mean, and then we're on Woodstock. You can come out and go for a hippie hike. 2 miles to Hell, Michigan, and 2 miles back. That's Saturday. Do some yoga workouts. So it's not just running, you know, it's not 100 miles. It's everything. It's classic rock. Anyway.
There's been a couple, we don't need to touch on it too much, but just so we don't dodge the questions, a couple people have asked about future events, Devil's Lake, Woodstock, what are the plans? Are they still happening? I think the blanketed answer is like, we are just waiting it all out like everybody else. We don't have any inside information other than the ambiguous guidelines in front of
I
us.
kind of lean on everybody on this one. I don't cancel an event till somebody else tells me I have.
Yeah, we just wait for
where I
our
come
marching orders from our venues or the parks or the state or
Right.
It's all.
If they'll let me put their race on, we will. If they tell me that there's 50 people allowed, we might have 50-person starts every 2 hours for 2 days. I don't know that, but we'll be there as soon as they allow us to do anything. And it'll be safe, and we'll do a great job at making it fit with all the guidelines that are given.
And then one other cool post that I saw was Sarah Powell said that she's hoped Zero Waste is able to get back up and running by Run Woodstock. And that touches on Randy's call to volunteers. Those volunteers are some of the hardest working volunteers, led by Jeff Jackson, our Zero Waste hero.
So proud of that. We used to have big old
Yes.
dumpsters at all these races for years, and for about 4 years now, we don't have a trash bag left at a 2,000-person event.
We've literally left races with a Ziploc bag, and that's the amount of trash. It's so cool. And that's all because of the volunteers.
Yeah, and it's going to be, it's, you know, when we put that together, it'll be, you know, there's going to be this post-COVID raceway. We've been pretty darn good at being safe and great races, but it'll be very different. But we will be, I know you guys are the best in the business, and you'll make it the best there is.
Someone asked, Janet wanted to know if we can do this challenge next month, and maybe you joined late, but there is a June. It's coming. It's awesome. It's super awesome.
More hints, guys. Nothing.
Oh,
When's
no,
this
like,
coming
it's
out?
so cool. It's so cool. We promise.
Rhymes with yay, yay.
We're excited. Trevor's response when we came up with it was, "Sorry guys, I have to take the month off.
I'm gonna go run it live."
So.
This is not a good teaser. This is an inside teaser, but I think the cool thing about it is it's challenged the not hosting events in our normal way has really challenged us to use our brains in ways that we may not have used in a while. And, you know, Chris, who's on our creative team, is back trying to hack up a website for us for this next challenge. And I think he really impressed us all. And we're like, whoa, you know how to do that? And so that I think this has been really cool, like, you know, forced us to think outside of the box. And, you know, we want to keep the spirit of the Head Goat 50K challenge for anything we do, like we're interactive with people, and it's, you know, it's fun. It's things that we would want to do because we're all participating too.
Tell us,
Hoodie, we're gonna tell you.
Quick thank you to everybody in the Head Goat Challenge. I came to tears over the donations that you guys made.
Oh my God, Chris is on Facebook, by the way. Sorry, we just said how cool he is. So thanks, Chris.
He's saving the baby goat there. Doing artwork. We have
What's up, Chris?
I gotta thank you all because you guys are out there and the donations you made. We have 12 of our staff back on right now creating these forward, like first, like the safety team, like Carrie right there. We have everybody back on at least 75 to 80% back on. 12 of us at least working right now. And you guys made that possible without a doubt. And they're gonna make us, our future. We're gonna be incredibly safe and creative, and we will make finish lines for you however they are.
Right.
So happy.
Right.
Thank you so much, you guys.
I didn't remember to actually put an end time on this, so people might not know it's an actual hour for happy hour. So if you guys have questions, we can do some rapid fire. If you throw them in the comments, we'll answer a few more, and then we'll let everybody get back to their lives. But also, I don't think we finished because Selena asked everybody's their accomplishment. Dan, did you say what was your number one? Yeah. Carrie, did you?
Did you,
But
Anna?
for my accomplishment,
I did not say mine.
That's
Which
what I was
would be
thinking.
finishing. Yeah, mine would obviously be finishing Speed Goat, which I've run the Speed Goat 50K in Utah 4 or 5 times. I've only finished once. It was awesome. Not really. It's not. I mean, it's really hard. But that's definitely my accomplishment. I would love to run more of our events, but that's not.
we're kind of busy.
Yeah, super busy at the races. Yes.
Not fair to ask us.
I've-
Our favorite events are our events without a doubt, but
Yeah.
we really have to be there and on the job for you guys.
Yeah, and we like that. So I do have to run other people's events. And then I think it was what are we training for? And I'm running hopefully Kettle Moraine 100 in September because it got postponed to September. So I will be potentially running a 100-mile race the weekend between Woodstock and Dance with Durrell.
Oh, I forgot. I registered for North
Perfect.
Country. So
I see your
that's still
dogs.
on.
I see some dogs running by, and I saw a couple of horses or dogs.
Yeah, I got a lot of things happening in this yard. Live in the forest,
Yeah.
people.
Birds. I saw your old man in the background.
I know, he walked by too. That was nice.
Yeah.
Pepper and Willie are back there right now.
Yeah, they're back there cruising.
All right, guys.
Taking it. All right. Well,
Mandy
This has
left
been
early,
fun.
so now we're all
All right. Thanks,
we're all
Trevor.
out of here. Thanks
Yeah.
everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
Trevor,
you
for
so
making
much.
it all work.
Keep posting in the group. We
thank
read
you,
it all.
Trevor.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
keep-
Anna, you're going to post the email.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Got distracted with this live, and I did not send the 5 p.m. email today, but I'm gonna do it right now.
Anna's on it.
You got to edit
On
whatever
it.
I wrote. Talks a
Yes.
lot about happy hour.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay.
Night.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.